Hello there. So I guess this is probably my first time trying to actually do a proper recording for a video, and well, I'm gonna see how it goes. And so today, hello, my name's Kai, and I'm a photographer. Well, what do I want to call myself a photographer? Because lately these days people will just call themselves what they are to themselves. I don't really kind of view myself in that way. I think it's kind of, you want to kind of give it to a certain interest, to a certain point, to a certain thing, to create something more unique out of what you be yourself. And well, to me, I'm just a creator, and that's what we all really are in a way. And so today, I kind of want to ask you people, have you ever read your own photo before? Have you ever pondered about your editing, or just your scene, your capture, your compositioning of your subject and of your work? Have you ever thought about reading your photo? Well, I have, and I've been reading my own photos, and I've been reading other people's photos for a little bit now. And by reading someone's photo or just your own photo, you can learn. I feel like you could learn more about yourself or about other people. Because in a way, the way you edit is kind of has I don't know why I say correlate, but it kind of, the way you edit can sometimes be presented by your current state of mind, your mood, and well, for an example, when you see a moody photo, you might be able to tell that someone might be in a moody state of mind, and well, that could be true, but that's up for interpretation. But interpretation is always here. And that's the point of this. Your interpretation is meant to be challenged. Have you challenged your interpretation before? I think that's the blatant, more I lost the word out of my mouth. But it's more specific. Is that is. And well, I kind of wanted to show you all about reading a photo, an image. So I'm gonna jump onto my computer. I just started figuring out OBS, and time to try it out now. So we'll use that now.
Yeah, right, so we're using this photo for an example. See its moodiness, read its moodiness, read the coloring correction, or just read the color, read the subject. So this photo here is one of my most prized possession photos. I've worked so hard on this photo for a good couple of days, and it really put me into a change of my mood, into a change of pace of my own mind, on figuring out how to create loneliness out in the wilderness, or in the woodlands, or whatever you want to call it. And well, this was technically it. This is what I found. And what I used was, I was using to use for this editing and how I did this all, I had inspiration from my own dark path to create this image, and that's why it is called Loneliness. And well, if you can read the image, it's a lonely bench. What does that interpretate? It interpretates loneliness. And so you could read the loneliness out of his image. And well, like if you can't see that, if you can't read that, oh, and if you can't read that, well, I hate to sound rude, but you might be a little bit narrow-minded. You not need stuff like this. You kind of need to be a little bit open for. To expand your mind, to expand and to challenge your interpretation, to change how you perceive your own work and how you can perceive other work, is all determined by your state of your openness, the openness of yourself. So try it. Learn your own. Read your own photos. I encourage it. I'm not gonna say you must, but I highly encourage just to read the photos. Like also, because this is also, as I said, moody. I have my my darker colors on my darker greens, and well, you just read that, and I think and at the time, basically at the time, I was in that mood, in a moody state. And well, I post by feelings half the time, and I'm pretty sure that that can go for a lot of people. But if you just grab any photo, let's grab another one actually. There's some neat photos here around here too. Here we go. Let's read this photo. It's not yeah, this is an I think this is this is an original, but probably edited would be a bit more easier to read than a original. But the composition, I think, can actually have effect of the way you read your photo. Here's an edited one. So to me, in my the previous photo from before, it was inspired by my little bit of a dark path, my dark path. Sorry, I can't speak today. My dark past. There we go, dark past. Everyone has a little bit of issues in there. And what I saw during the time in my dark past, when I was in my depression stage, I viewed it all about just being out in the wilderness, completely darked out, nowhere to go. You see your demons everywhere, and so I use most of my dark past to really try to create something dramatic within my photos. And also, this is an edit, and well, I bring back that inspiration because that inspiration is pulling me. It always pulls me, and it helps me create something that's more dramatic. And I think that's really the reason why I'm playing with moody photos at the moment. Moody photos just have something. It just feels tranquil, peaceful, and I really do like it. But I got a bunch of other edits around here, and I need to post more, start to post more. And but yeah, if you read your own images, you could find something out about yourself that you probably don't even know, and well, that you don't know. Yeah, and it would just be interesting to find something out about yourself that you don't even know. Like, do you really know yourself that well? Do you really? I've been on this world for 26 years. I don't feel like I know myself, but when I look at my images and read my own images, I challenge my interpretation, and I also read, and I feel like I know more about myself. And well, the more you read out of your photo, the more you could probably see. And well, if you're actually like outside, go outside, and when you go outside and do photos or walk around outside, you probably find something completely different. And well, like again, interpretation and your perspective of it all is really interesting. The more you challenge it, the more you could get out of it. Like I don't want to. It just feels like you could increase your knowledge like the knowledge you could get this stuff out of, I think is pretty astronomical. Look at me saying weird words, but it's amazing. I met this guy online who also has this kind of like this little skill, or what a lot of people might call observation now, is that, yeah, and I highly encourage people to try it. You don't know what you're going to find if you read an image. Let's take a look at this one again. Read the image. Give you challenge your interpretation of it. Red stop. Okay, what I would read here, that it's because it's a moody setting. Now I'm seeing myself to be in a moody state of mind. The red stop means I'm stuck in line, waiting, an endless cycle of waiting, a never-ending loop, waiting. And because we're never gonna see the green, we're never seeing a green light with a photo, and red just means shows you that you probably are at a dead end. Like, what else can you interpretate by a red stop sign, or just a red stop? Challenge your interpretation. Think that's gonna, yeah, you guys, you get what I mean. You can find so much more. I don't think I have any more photos that could really challenge your interpretation, but I hope you guys get the point I'm going with, to really bring it out there. Actually, I might show you one more actually. So this one. So it is a bit weird, but this is an old favorite of mine, and well, when I look into interpretations of it, the only one thing I think of, because I watch so much Viking stuff, is that this reminds me of just like a Viking-ic thing, like the mountains of Iceland, or in Norway. And well, because I don't live there and I live in Australia, I would love to go over there, but look, just look at the resemblance, really. I wish I had the photos up here, but I didn't have it. But yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah, it's pretty good what I mean. Interpretation and how you perceive and everything about your image and reading them can really show much more. So much more. Now here's another thing that would be pretty good to show. So I edited this a couple of months ago. Actually, I think I got it last year actually. So there is a tunnel around the Gold Coast of Australia, Queensland, and there's this place called the Ernest Junction Railway, and well, it's been closed down. It's been abandoned, and now it's turned into a wall of art by graffitis. And I edited this to really point out the drawer, as you can see. Sometimes you can't interpret something because everything can always give you a mind to a blank. But that's really normal. We're only humans. We don't have the power of a lot of perceivings and interpretations. It's really hard to challenge your mind to really have that thing. But it comes every once in a while, I would say. But I think that depends on the user, the individual. But yeah, that's it. I thought I should show you that. I'm gonna head back to the camera now.
So yeah, as you can see, you could really challenge your interpretations and read your image to a certain point that it could give you some sort of new knowledge about yourself, or give you something that's more defining. something really interesting can really get out of this. And well, that's if you want to, really. And well, I think it's cool. It's given me a new state of mind of how I do my photography, and I find it really, really damn cool. And I don't see a lot of people do this. But it draws me to another problem. It's normal. You normally see these type of photos on photos that are not very aesthetically pleasing. Well, I don't want to say that, that's just a little bit rude, but it's, we find more photos a little bit more interesting and out of place. A lot of days now you see photos are just outlandishly beautiful, but it kind of destroys the ideas of interpretation and be able to read an image. Probably can read it, but it's just, I don't want to sound rude to the people that take photos that make things look really good. It's just, it's not challenging enough. That sounds even more rude. Aesthetically pleasing photos are just aesthetically pleasing. I don't think they're not meant to be interpreted or in certain way. And I really think photos like the ones I showed you kind of have to give you a challenge to read and a challenge interpretations. Like you see online on Instagram and other places, there you see the top dogs of photography. Shout out, I love those guys, they're so cool. The photos are really cool. They are cool. But I just really think that the way that we could really challenge ourselves with the photography is to really not really aim just to be over pleasing. And like at the same time you do that because what is photography? It's an art form. And so you just play as art as it is. But yeah. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to show you about reading and challenging your mind to interpretations to be able to read an image. And I hope someone learns something about it because it's actually really interesting. And well, yeah. Alright then, that's all for me today. I'm gonna get some, it's like 10 o'clock at night and kinda need to do a few things and get ready to go to bed. But yeah. Oh well. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoy this video. My light's down bright, right, oh my gosh. And hey, it focused again. But yeah, so yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.